Hey, what's up, Marco? Happy Friday to you as well. How is everything? Got to mix up some Aves. A little bit of a late start tonight. Prime 1 base is probably just as big. Did they send you the whole figure or just the base? Well, good luck with that. Still never had a chance to see a Prime 1 item in, well, I mean, I had the Green Lantern 1/4 scale, but never one of their, like, 1/3 scales. Hey Wells, I just use safety solvent, which is in this little container here, and this is just the Aves. I don't use any other solvents except Aves and their safety solvent. That's it. I just mixed up with my rubber gloves, and I got this Aves Fairly Soft. I could go even softer if I wanted to, but I don't really need to. So by making it soft enough, I'm going to give her wrinkles underneath here. So you just dip your finger in with the safety solvent, and you can kind of smush it around. So it's just Aves and safety solvent, and that's it. I mean, is there anything else you're looking to know, or specific products. Yeah, I don't use alcohol for my Aves because it dries very fast and you don't get the smoothness with this is safety solvent, so you can see it's nice and smooth. The Aves is like a buttery, like a thick buttery Aves. It goes nice and smooth. You're not, because I know the alcohol sort of like glumps it up, at least when I tried it. So if you spend a couple bucks and you get their safety solvent and then you try that compared to the alcohol, you're probably going to be like, yeah, I should have been getting the safety solvent. That's my opinion. I mean, you can see it just goes on nice and smooth. You know, it stays smooth. It stays nice and soft because alcohol dries up fast on you. Very fast. So now I can come into here and sort of like do a little bit of wrinkling. Like so. So when I use the alcohol, I know you get like this white residue coming all over the item. Yeah, I think that's the problem with only problem with you guys in safety solvent. You should actually just go to the website and see if you can order direct. If you can't order direct from Aves, then I don't know if you're allowed it in your country. I'm not sure. You could contact them and ask them. They're very helpful. Honestly, when I called up Aves Studio a few years back and I actually talked to the owner, the funny thing he says, if you can't get safety solvent and you're waiting for it, it sounds disgusting, but you can just spit and use saliva. I honestly think if you could get the safety solvent, it'll be a world of a difference for you. If you can't get it, and you know anybody in the US, you can always ask them to buy it for you, pack it up and ship it out to you, and find out if you could do that. I've done that for somebody a while back. A guy in another country couldn't get Aves, so I bought a container for him and I shipped it out. So that's a possibility if you kind of go that route. But alcohol, water, dries up your item. It doesn't really mix too well. Like I said, try saliva. I know it's disgusting, but it's not really going to thin it down the way I did it though, just now. But you really should try to get safety solvent if you can. And if you can find somebody to get it, just have them pay the money and order a lot. Order the, I get the 16 ounce. I think I get the 16 ounce. Yeah, I get the 16 ounce bottles. You know, it'll go, like, if you buy a 16 ounce and you go through it fast, it'll last you a long time. Yeah, no problem. I don't mind helping out. Just I just know other countries it sucks trying to get this stuff sometimes. I find that ordering direct from Aves anyway, it's cheaper than trying to get it like on Amazon or anywhere else. Because they're, what is it, the 4-gallon kit of red Aves is always like 25 bucks, 28 bucks. It's a great price. Thanks, Superhero. She's slowly getting there. Trying to do some more detailing. Yeah, Dexter, I think what I'll do is she's gonna be just for live streams, so I'll be painting her live streams as well too. I think that'll it'll be tricky, but at least you guys can see in real time how this progresses. Hey Raz, yeah, it's Aves was a learning curve for me too in the beginning, but then once I got used to it, I just absolutely love it. Let's see if we can kind of. I don't like that. Hey Frank, I tried doing classes, well not really a class, but I tried doing like seminars. Half of the time the stuff I do, I already have it on my videos on the channel. I'm just not a very good teacher, I guess you can say. I sort of got to be in like the zone at home to do this stuff. Chris, when you're working with it, are you dipping, like, do you, like when you dip in your thing, is it like drenched with water? I have a habit of wasting a lot of Aves because I dab it on my paper towel, so it's kind of like damp, but it's not like pooling wet. I know I'm wasting it, but it's kind of like I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it. So that's kind of why I buy the large thing of Aves safety solvent. Yeah, you just want to have your brush sort of damp, but not pooling. You don't want it like just gushing over your item. Like this is like damp now, but it's not like drenched with water or a solvent. Yeah, you gotta just get used to it. You know, you just won't. Because if you're doing this and it's drenching down onto primer, if you did like I prime and your primer starts coming up, then you know you're just putting too much on there. You just gotta kind of get used to it. So when I mixed it up earlier in the beginning of the stream, I had my rubber gloves on and I mixed this up. Like I'll show you. Like when I first mix it up, I just if I can get this back on. It'll get there. Alright, so when I mix up my Aves, I put my middle finger, my pointy finger in there, and I put a little bit of Aves on here like so, and then I mix it. And then what I do is I put another finger in there and I mix it again. Alright? And then I put another thing. It's basically I'm just putting it around, like kind of glossing it, and then I mix it. So you keep doing that till you get to the point where it's nice and smooth. Like in the beginning when you break it apart, it's breaking like that. That's because it's dried up. But when you put the solvent in there, you get a lot more. You know, you don't really dip it into it. You just kind of put your finger in there, and you get a nice smooth something like that. Now the more you do it, the more you do it, and the more you do it, it's going to get even like stickier and tackier. So you're going to do it a few times, and you'll get a nice smooth, you know. And then when you put your paintbrush in there, it's nice and fairly smooth going across. So that's kind of how I do it. So now that it's nice and smooth, you can put your finger in there and sort of kind of stretch it out a bit. You know, I got some more on my finger now. Just kind of squishing it, spreading it around. The only problem is if you put too much on, then you start running into issues. Yeah, you just gotta find that middle ground where it's soft, it's fresh. Now the other thing too is, if your Aves is old, now when I say old, I mean it's months old, you leave the container open, your Aves will dry out and it becomes very hard. Now this is fresh Aves. I bought this, what, 3 weeks ago it came in, or 2 weeks ago it came in, or maybe a week or so. So this is fresh Aves from Aves Studio. If you buy it at like an art store, that Aves could be sitting on that shelf for like a year or months, and that stuff could be very, very old. That's another thing people don't think about. So when you have Aves and you're not using it, leave it in your refrigerator. It's not going to harm anything, and it'll stay fresher longer. Because with the whole COVID and stuff, I decided to buy an extra thing of red Aves, and that one is in my refrigerator now, just in case I run out, and then all of a sudden down the line, I'm like, they don't have any stock or something. I got backup. If this is a good thing. So on your green part of Aves, if you're getting it like a nasty yellowing going around and it's very hard, this is getting old and bad. See, this is fresh. This is nice and fresh. It's soft. It's not tough. So that is that means this is getting bad and old and getting crusty. Nah, you don't need to put your stuff in jars, really. Honestly, I have my stuff next to me, but I go through it a lot. You'll be fine in here like this. But if you're not using it, just throw it in the refrigerator. When you pull it out of the refrigerator, it's going to be very hard because it's cold, but it'll soften up fast. But when you get that nasty yellowing in this green area, this which is B, it's going bad on you. Because you can see my B from Fix It. It's fresh. It's not yellowing. It's very soft. So that's another thing too. Keep that in mind when you buy your stuff. Like if you go to an art store and you buy it and you open it up and it's like hard and yellowing, just bring it back because it's old and bad. That's why I say just buy from Aves Studio. Just buy it from direct if you can. You know you're getting stuff that's fresh. It's not sitting on an art store shelf for months. It's worth it. Just things I've come across over the years. I forgot where it was. I think I went to a Jersey Fest one time and somebody had Aves and they let people in the class use it, and when I looked at it I was like, yeah, your stuff is bad. And that's kind of how I learned that you gotta have fresh. You'll notice the difference between a nice fresh Aves and one that's been sitting around for like a year. Gonna do a simple seam line for this, I think. I tried the zipper, it just didn't work. Marco, I went to the hobby store by me and I bought a couple of Vallejo paints. What else did I do? I gotta get some more epoxies and glue. At one point during the summer, I couldn't find Alclad Pale Gold. Then I found one place that had it. I bought like a few bottles of that. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I really don't know what I need, and I hate buying stuff that will dry out at me in time. So I was so busy this summer getting the heating system done, the airbrush booth, all that stuff. The one problem I did run into was that when I went to Michael's store a few weeks back to buy some supplies of like grass for an item I'm working on, and they didn't have anything. But finally they did get some stuff in finally. Yeah, I'm not a fan of lacquers too much, unless it's like the Spaztec or Alclad stuff. Only because of fumes, and plus they clog my airbrush something crazy. But yeah, spray booth will make a major difference for your paints, especially with all the overspray stuff. And fumes and everything else. I should have did it years ago. I don't know why I didn't. Well, if they work for you, that's good. I'm just not a fan of lacquers and enamels. I guess I'm too sensitive to the fumes, and I guess they go on pretty thick. Well, not too thick, but you still can't find Tester's dull coat? I mean, I remember when you told me it was hard to find. I bought up a few cases of it. I'd be shocked if they don't make it anymore. Unless it's a Canada thing. That's good, Raz. Get that booth going. I know it's expensive. Well, They're not expensive, they're also a pain in the ass, but once you get that booth, man. Like I said, I should have did it years ago. I was just using that stupid cheap one. Oh, Rust-Oleum got it? Maybe that's why they're kind of dried up, Marco, because they're kind of changing some of the formula, probably. I mean, honestly, I don't really like to use Tester's Dull Coat much. I only use it to sort of melt the paint a little bit, the kind of layers I do. But other than that, I kind of just use the Vallejo Mecha varnishes now. Tester's Dull Coat's just so potent with the smell, it just lingers. That's kind of a pain. I remember the one Jersey Fest I went to, they were all spraying that stuff inside the room. I walked in there, I was like, holy crap. Okay, if it's the same formula, that's good. Yeah, Marco, it could be Canada, man. Cause like I said, when you told me that, I've looked online here, and I could find it everywhere. I even went to the one hobby store, what is it, Hobby Town? Yeah, it's Hobby Town. They have it there. There could be like a chemical in there that just Canada doesn't want, you know? Or something stupid. I remember the Tamiya Gray Putty, they stopped selling it in America for a while because there was something in there that wasn't allowed. It dried up for like a year and then it finally came back. I'd be careful with the running the stuff into the attic unless you got a good vent system in the attic. Only because if you have ductwork through the house, it could still go through your house. That's what one guy told me. That's if you use harsh stuff. Just be careful with the attic stuff. Unless you've had it for years and it's working fine, then don't listen to me. I thought about that too, but then after I got a flat roof here and then in my garage, it just worked better venting there. Yeah, Marco, that's why you gotta get yourself extra airbrushes for specific paints. That's what I do. So I know when I want to run the Vallejo through an airbrush, it's got to be the thicker one, so it doesn't clog. Or I gotta thin it down, one or the other. Oh, there you go. If you got a huge attic, then who cares? Whatever works. Chris, I don't use Pledge floor polish anymore. Ever since, what was it called? It wasn't Pledge, right? It was something else in the beginning. But Pledge bought them out, and I don't use it anymore because it cracks over time. So I stay away from that, and it yellows now too. So if you want to seal women's makeup, get yourself some Vallejo varnish. This stuff is really great, satin and matte. It'll really flatten and seal your item up without like running the makeup. But when I seal my skin tones, I seal with the Duplicolor Car gloss, and then I use the matte varnish on top of it, and it flattens it down to like I never put gloss on it. Yeah, that's it, Future Floor Wax. Yeah, no, I haven't used Future or the Pledge in years. The last time I used a Future floor polish, it was good, and then Pledge bought it out. I used Pledge, and it cracked everything, and it yellowed, so I stay away from it. I haven't used it in years. I don't have a problem with Vallejo. It could also be wherever you're located, if you got dry weather or, you know, I don't know. I run Vallejo Model Air right through my airbrush with no issues. But I am in Jersey by the shore, so it could be that's why. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just more or less where you live, what paint you're using. Do you have moisture in the house? Is it dry? Do you have a good airbrush compressor where it's taking out stuff? I don't know. There's a lot involved. You know, I talk to guys who live in other states and they say this doesn't work for them there, but this works. And then I'm like, well, that doesn't work for me here, so... All depends. Oh yeah, if you're using just the model paints, not the model airs, then you have an issue. I get all the model air paints because it's pretty much made for your airbrush. But I also paint with these too, but they're thinner, but they paint fine with a paintbrush. Sometimes they're a little watery, certain colors, but most of the time I use these for a paintbrush and also through the airbrush, and I have no issue. But I do know, I don't have any Vallejo just paint, but this is kind of like Panzer's A, which is kind of like the same thing though. Like this won't go through an airbrush. This is so thick, it'll clog your airbrush. So you have to thin this down. But this is good for like a paintbrush though. So that could be your problem too, you know. Oh, keep hitting the camera. You know, I tried a couple of the game colors, and they're very, like, they don't go on thick for some reason. They're kind of like thinned down to the point where they're almost translucent, at least some of the colors I got. So I just used the regular model airs, and they're fine. But again, it could have been the colors I got too. Maybe that was the issue. I'm not really sure. Yeah, maybe that's what the game colors are. They're kind of maybe inks a little bit more. I'm not really sure. Honestly, when it comes to paints, I pretty much just say whatever works for you, you run with. As long as your final result works and it's what you want, that's all that counts. You guys should try Citadel and P3 formula paints. They're actually pretty good, but they're thick. You gotta thin them down. But if you thin them down just right, they go on amazingly. Yeah, that's true. Any paint will work if you get it the right consistency. Hey Stefano, how you doing? Yes, I like Citadel paints a lot. They're just expensive. That's the only problem. And you only get a little bit. But if you thin them down enough, they go on nice and thick. And they're just good. They're really good paints. Hey Matt, thanks for stopping in. Just chill stream working on FireStar. talking shop of paints and everything. Trying to add some decent wrinkles on here. See how this works out. See how this works. Yeah, I try and buy empty bottles from garage kits. Oh, that's a package. Be right back. Alright, that was some packing supplies. Finally came in. Yeah, as I was saying, if you get a chance, buy some empty paint bottles, either on Amazon or garage kits or whatever you like. And you can just start mixing up your own. That's what I try to do. That's going to get sanded down a bit, but that'll work. Looks more like an outfit. Craft paint? What are the craft paints? I never heard of those. The only thing what I try to look in paint is Like if you guys have ever used Createx paints, the regular Createx are so rubbery. They don't dry correctly, and you have to heat set them. So I stay away from paint like that. So never heard of that craft paints, $1 paints, Appleberry. I'll look into it. I mean, I do know in the past, you know, when I talked to the old school guys back when I started, they always said that whatever paint you buy, you get what you pay for. So, not saying that what you're using is bad, but yeah, I try not to, like, it goes like the same with primers. I know, like, you get those cheap primers, you run into issues. So it's kind of like I thought that would be the same with paints. I guess what I would say is I would use cheaper paints for like bases and stuff I would hand paint, but for airbrushing I probably would always try to stick to the best I can get. Like that. Well, like I said, if it works for you and your flow is good, more power to you, but I try to... Only because I remember when I was in art school, we painted with the cheap stuff and the expensive stuff, and you could see the difference on canvas board and stuff. Sometimes saving an extra bucks just kind of causes you more issues. I mean, I buy the basic, you know, like the, was it the Winsor Newton Basics? That stuff is good for just, you know, bases, solid colors, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not digging it. Not liking that. Where's my... that's good for the outfit, at least the start of it. The other day I kind of tweaked out the hair a bit. I had some extra Aves and I kind of cleaned her up a little bit more. So we're definitely getting there. I ordered some of that clear SFH Figure Arts resin fire stuff. So hopefully I can put flames in her hands and on the base. Stefano, this is regular Aves mixed with Fix It, but it's more regular because I'm not doing hair. Well, I'm gonna do some hair soon, but it's mostly figure stuff, so I kind of just use regular Aves. And it's Fix It Sculpt. There's Fix It and Fix It Sculpt. The Sculpt is better. It's a little bit tougher. It's kind of made for sculpting, I guess. I don't know. I've tried Aves clay one time. They have like what's called a clay, and it was like sandy. It was like old school clay. It was not meant for this type of stuff. So that's one to stay away from. Good enough for wrinkles. Terrell, you mean the Freeform air or the free air? Is there something different? I use their Freeform air all the time, but on bases. The Freeform air is not really meant for adding onto an item like this. Are you talking about that Freeform Sculpt, which is alright. Yeah, so Freeform air, I have a huge gallon kit of it. Entity, yeah, that's nice. I would love to do some 3D sculpting, but everyone else is doing it. So yeah, I have a huge gallon kit, which is 2 of them with Freeform air, as you can see. This stuff is great for filling in items, doing bases. If you want to sculpt like a rocky base, a sandy base, it's good for making an armature. Like say I was working on an LSB, and you have a big LSB and you want to kind of sort of create the hair, you can use that Freeform air to sort of get your shape, and then you can sculpt on top of it. So it's not really like decaling an item like Aves, but it's definitely good. Like if you want to make a base for her, you can throw all that Freeform air around the base. You can put a rod in there and then you can sculpt on top of it. So you could do something like that. So their Freeform air is good for that stuff. They have a Freeform Sculpt, which is like supposed to be the rival to Aves. It's super tacky and it's so stiff, I don't like it. And you can't really smooth it out too. It was a nightmare to use it. I think I did a video on it. I just found it was cheaper to buy the gallon kit for $90 than to buy these little tiny trial stuff. So. Anthony, what display did you get? And what, you using a tablet? What operating system? I am always for seeing penguins. They are the best kind. Shooby-dooby-doo. I still gotta get a t-shirt made of that. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, the old, what was it, the Bud Light commercials? Or the Coors? That must be a hell of a display then. So is it ZBrush you're using, or is it one of those other ones? Now you got that damn penguins in my head now. Yeah, Terrell, the Freeform air is really not friendly. It also gets very, very tacky, and it gets very hot the thicker you sculpt with it. So it's good for specific things, but not for customizing onto an item. Shipping's going to be expensive no matter what. That's just where we're headed now. Hello, heroes. How's it going? I mean, if you want to see what I did with the Freeform Air, the one Captain Marvel I put together with the custom Moonrock base, I used the Freeform Air on that video. It worked out well. It's just it's very difficult to work with. And I also used it for some of the Savage Land Rogue custom I did. That was the other one I worked with. Just order it, Terrell. I mean, that's just the best way of getting Aves. Yeah, I mean, if I ever did head out that way, I'll hit you up. But the problem is, you're not allowed to leave your house these days, so until the world gets back to normal, I don't think anyone's doing anything. Or if the Jersey Fest show opens back up this year, that'll be a nice treat. Maybe everyone can hit that up. Alright, I think we're good there. mixed up too much Aves. Then I got an item I gotta work on later. Maybe that'll be enough for it. Alright. I'll let that dry a bit. So do I need to throw any more into the hair? I probably could throw a little bit here, maybe. Yeah, I think here I can use a little bit more. Yeah, it sounds good, heroes. There's a lot of people I watch live, except I always miss everything though. Either I'm in the garage or I'm painting and I kind of just don't see what's going on. Here or is it here I want to do? There. Now I just gotta make sure I don't hit this and mess that up. Let's create a little funky wave on this one. Sorry if the camera position's off, just trying not to mess up the front of her. This is FireStar from the old Spider-Man and Friends cartoon, Marvel character. Going old school. For some odd reason nobody wants to produce this statue. I mean, I think she is in the comics, though. I mean, they did put her in. Just don't care about her, I guess. Have I been doing that this long? Damn. Time flies. Hopefully I've gotten better over the years. I kind of look at the things I started out doing, I'm like, what was I thinking? But you gotta learn and get better. I know I got on YouTube around 2011 or 10. So I remember I signed up when I was in an apartment down here, which I think was 2010. I think. So yeah, it probably was about that long. Back when I was just a little wee noob. Hey Jacob, this is the Sideshow Collectibles Phoenix body with the Troy McDivitt Wonder Woman ornament head. He produced a bunch of DC character anime heads for your Christmas tree to paint. And I saw the Wonder Woman head. It was in perfect scale, so it went on to that body. Worked out perfect. I mean, I have the Phoenix head that came with the statue, I just wanted to change it up. So it's a real good one of a kind at the moment. Hey Vigilante, how's it going? Actually, I know her collars probably would have more of a point, but what I actually did for her collar was I actually wrapped it around her neck and I sliced it and then I pulled it away. So it's actually, if you put her collar down, it actually wraps around her neck perfectly, which looks weird, but that's how it works. But no, I tried a couple different versions of her collar in the beginning, some points and stuff and other things, they just didn't look right. So I decided to go with the old, just wrap it around the neck and see how it folds. And the sad thing with Aves though, now that it's all hardened up and everything, it'll be like a nightmare. Plus I wanted to show some cleavage, so. You know, her chest is up forward and her arms are pushed back, so you figure at least it opens up more too, so. That's kind of what I was thinking about. Cleavage is important. That's got to stay. Hey Exile, I'm actually editing 2 videos. One is the Harley Quinn Arkham kit I just finished painting up. And then I also doing a garage kit review on a Moon Dragon. And after that, once I finish up this What If Savage Land character, I'm going to post that video, but I'm also doing a video on how I'm working out the base on that one with a clear resin. So I got a couple in the works. I got to finish the items and I got to edit. I hope to do the pour of the clear resin tomorrow. And then if that works out, I can finish up the item next week. And then I'm waiting for Jesse from Garage Kits to send me the head bust to do a series on the paint up. And then I actually started today my next work in progress series for a cartoon character into one of these superhero statues, which I can't ruin for you on stream. You have to wait until I post it, which should be a fun character. But that one's going to be a way off. Sideshow uses basically resin, just like any resin that they have out there, and they put stone powder into it, so that's why it's called Polystone. So it's regular resin with stone powder to make it feel like a rock statue. So if they didn't put the stone powder in there, it would probably be like any other resin statue out there. You know, that's kind of what it is. Yeah, so like you can go to Smooth On and buy their resin, and you could put stone powder into it, and it would feel like a Sideshow statue, because it would be like, it's polyurethane stone powder resin, so that's why they call it polyurethane statue. Yeah, it's so simple that that's all it really is. Just stone powder. But I'm pretty sure they have to mix the correct amount of stone powder to resin, otherwise it would crumble. So I'm pretty sure it's got to be like a specific ratio. I thought about, like, if I ever did some castings on items to mix up stone powder with the, whatchamacallit, the Smooth On stuff, but I'm not sure how well it would sand compared to this stuff, so I have no clue. I don't know if anyone else, I think some people have done kits of FireStar back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they have. As far as a 1/4 custom like this, I don't know. But it's not the only FireStar I'm doing. I have another one I have to do for someone, but I think it's it's a Bowen statue. It's on the long list of stuff I have to get done. Sure I didn't hit that at all. Trying to create some crazy waves on the back of her hair a bit, just to have some fun. Yeah, Terrell, I think any resin from Smooth On, like all their 300 series, is very, very durable. It's lighter though. It won't break like Polystone, but it still will break. Because, like I said, Polystone, regular Polystone resin is just the chemical reaction of the two chemicals, and you create, you know, it's pretty solid plastic. When you put the stone powder into it, you're spreading that plastic apart. So yeah, it will break easier. Polystone is just to make you feel like it's a really expensive stone statue. That's all it really is. If that makes any sense. Like, honestly, if the statue was just regular resin, but it was painted up amazing and it looked good, it's fine. But then again, you know, I wouldn't want PVC though statue, because that's plastic that can warp and it feels cheap. So yeah, I don't think it's really to stretch out the resin as more as it feels more professional, I guess, or you know, like a statue should be. I guess that's all really I think it is. Yeah, Exile, there's a ton of characters to be made. There's a ton of whole library. But it all depends on who's making it, who wants it. Heroes, I don't care. You can say what all you want. I mean, that's doesn't bother me. It's only gonna help me get better. Just sometimes some of the stuff I do is what the client wants to. So a lot of things I've done in the past aren't what I would normally do, but you know, whatever the person wants, that's what they get. So I mean, I'll think about the collar, but as of right now, the guy who wants this, is getting this, is happy with it, so we'll see. But critiquing, I welcome, because it's only gonna how you're gonna get better. I even thought about maybe adding like straps too. I'm not really sure yet. Yeah, Terrell, I know Pyro's, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day that stopped by. You could do all the X-Men villains. You got the Spider villains. You got, there's a lot of characters to be done. Yeah, I wish I could take on everybody's requests, but this year, 2020 really delayed everything, so hopefully if I ever get caught up and I get back on track, I can start, you know, doing more stuff with people. Right now it's catch-up phase. Got to do as much as I can to get caught up. Cookie, this is called Aves Epoxy Sculpt. I use it on all my statues. You mix A and B together, you have a 3-hour work time, and by the next day it's hard as a rock. So all this hair was the red I used. I just primed it up. Yellow paint is a nightmare to work with, honestly. It's the worst color ever. I learned that in art school. So to match it up, you probably could put a couple drops of, like, if you have a bright yellow, you could probably put a couple drops of raw sienna into it to kind of darken it up and get more of that mustard yellow, I guess they use. So I think that's what they use for a lot of their colors, is more of a mustard. Terrell, just go to the regular Aves section. Regular Aves, and then click on the red. It'll probably be on sale, because I think they moved it to just the regular section. I don't think it's in the Super Saver anymore. Yeah, heroes. I know this is probably not 100% perfect, you know, from Sideshow, but at some point I can't really redo the whole item. That's kind of like the idea of customs. It's kind of like just taking the item and tweaking it. I mean, if I sat there and I redid the whole item, I'd never get anything done. Trust me, there's a lot of times I wish I could redo stuff, but it's just not in the time frame. I mean, even some of the older statues too are like, ah. But you just kind of custom them and go. Exile, if you want to... I did a few videos on repairs. If you want to go into my website and look at all those repair videos. I did a repair on a Wolverine Bowen chip on his leg. You can use like putties. You could kind of putty up the area, sand it down a little bit, and touch it up with paint. If you really wanted to. I mean, I try explain a lot of my repair videos on how I do stuff. Yeah, heroes. I like the statue, and I would like to change a few things, but I think a lot of times too people don't realize like Polystone is a nightmare to work with. Still want to thicken up this section here. Yeah, but for yellow's a tricky color. To get a mustard look, add a little bit raw sienna, maybe a tiny drop of, very tiny drop of brown, but not dark brown. Any type of dark color into yellow, you're gonna muddy it, and it's gonna be a nightmare. Yeah, heroes, that's true. Yeah, I learned in art school early on that comic book drawings are never go off of that. That's why I used to get those art books too, where you had a female or male in like 3,000 different poses. You know, nude models. Those are great. Yes, yellow paint is a nightmare. That's why when I have to paint up this outfit on her, it's going to be a little tricky. Yeah, cause I'll just do this by myself. I got a couple friends we get together once in a while that are into the statue stuff. We just get together once a month, we talk shop, we work on stuff together once in a while. Well, my one friend we do. But as far as family, no, nobody in the family could care less about this stuff. Yeah, heroes. When I was in art school, we actually had a couple. We had a lot of different live nude models to learn from anatomy. Everyone from old to young. We had a couple strippers come in too. They did some of the modeling. But my one professor, he says he got very mad at anyone that would use like a Playboy magazine or anything like that to use reference art, because he said it was always airbrushed. So he would get mad if anyone brought those in for reference. Yeah, that's true. I got the streams going. I mean, me and my friends would get together once in a month, but now with the whole lockdown, they're not allowed out of the house, so just sitting here by myself getting stuff done. Exile, I started this on my own in 2003 or 6. I just started working on anime kits, and then I found statue form, and then I started just snowballing from there. So I would go to the Jersey Fest show, the Wonderfest show. I started, you know, doing research, tips and tricks from people, and just kept at it. Like, I would come home from work, because I was a graphic designer at a ad agency, and I would kick off my shoes and just go right to the desk and start sculpting and painting. So that's pretty much all I did non-stop for years. And then when I lost my job, I just kept doing it more and more, and now I just do it for a living. But you can't give up. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, I'm good enough. You got to keep learning. You got to keep practicing. You got to listen to people. Can't listen to family. Family will tell you everything is amazing. If somebody says your work is crap or it's not looking good, ask why, and then get better. I'm still learning every day. And you can't be afraid to take a risk. Hey, Creative Collector, how you doing? You don't like the part of her hair? I'm just thinking it's like kind of flowing up because I'm having the flames come up underneath of her. Jacob, I'm just trying to catch up now. I got way too much stuff done being backed up, so I can't even give you like a time frame. But I'm moving as fast as I can on stuff. I'm hoping maybe by the end of the summer I'll be caught up and I can start doing new stuff, but we'll see. Yeah, Creative Collector, she's getting there. I'm enjoying her. We'll get to it. Yeah, Vigilante, don't listen to the wife. Get a friend or somebody that'll be like, look, you gotta fix this, you gotta do this. Or this looks off, or that color's wrong, stuff like that. I'm not sure what part you're talking about. Are you talking about this part here? Or are you talking about this part over here? I'm just trying to stylize it and have fun. Yeah, like my grandmother always said, when one door closes, another one opens, so... And I figured you only live once, so you might as well just see if it'll work. Worst case scenario, as I said, I tried, and it didn't work. Oh, this part up here? I was actually having fun with this one, kind of splitting it. You know, just kind of having more of the flow over here and the hair over here. And then I wanted to bring it up more. I mean, I'm not trying to match the stuff that's on the pictures. I'm kind of doing my own little take on it, but... And the other thing too is I can't too much with it now. I gotta kind of keep going with this Aves before it hardens. Yeah, the wrinkles in the front are working out pretty well on her outfit. Once I sand it down, it should come together a little bit better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not claiming to be perfect with hair anyway. I still study Roberto's hair sculpting because his stuff is amazing. I don't know, I was kind of having fun with the way I parted the hair on top. I was trying to give it like a crazy flow up front. You know, because I keep building it up. I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun, no? I was just trying something different where I can have it curved there and come back around. Jacob, this is it's kind of a long story, but it's ending up that it's going to be for a guy who'd been wanting one, but I kind of had the body and head. And then we got to talking, and it just kind of turned out it's going to be his now. I'm with you, heroes. I'm always trying new stuff with the hair, different styles. So I know when I first started, my hair would be flat up front, so I'm trying to get used to building it out forward, but sort of have a flow. I even thought about building up a little bit more to give it even more to it. I know what you mean by a straighter part. I know exactly. You're talking about what, taking like this section out a little bit more? Which could work. But I wanted to try to play with it. Who knows, it might change down the line, it might not, I don't know. Marco, hopefully if I could finish up the next 2 projects after I post these other ones, I can get on the Nate Grays. If this year wasn't as bad as it was, you know, 2020, I'd be way further along, but that just did not work out too well. But I really want to get those Nate Grays done. I have 4 to paint up. 1 for me, 1 for my friend, and 2 for the other guys who produced it. That's a grail for me. I really want to get those done. That's definitely getting done this year. Don't worry about it, guys. I don't mind talking about it. I kind of like that she's all messy. No, it's the Dark Phoenix body. Well, Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, whatever Sideshow called her. I think it was just regular Phoenix, even though she was red. And I think they did the green one too, if I'm not mistaken. So you want, I see what you're saying, you want this fixed. I could fix that down the line. I could kind of bring it this way more. Like I said, things might evolve and change. We'll see how things work out down the line. If I had my friends come down, if we weren't on the lockdown, I got my one friend who sculpts too. He's good at telling me stuff that I miss, you know. We'll have get-togethers where they come down and hang out for the day, and they'll say, you know, you need to fix this, you need to fix that, and that kind of helps me out a lot too. But we're not allowed to be near each other, so I'll probably take pictures and send it to him, and he could probably say, okay, fix this, fix that. He's good at that stuff. Hey Raccoon, how you doing? Exile, it's not my law, it's their wives' law. My law, I don't care. Their wives' law is no, 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 you're not leaving the house. I tease them about that though all the time. I tell them I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything, you're more than welcome to come and hang out, but what the wife says goes. And I don't want to get on the wife's bad side because I want them to come down and hang out again, so I tease them all the time. I'm like, are you allowed out of the house? Can you go outside and see the sun? Custom bases, you mean head bases? Or a custom base for this statue? Yes, I am working on a base for this. I'll show you in a second what I got planned. I just want to fix this spot here. I'm in Jersey. I guess you could say South Jersey area. I ended up here with the old job. Boss moved the company down here. I bought the house. He closed the company. So that was a stressful time. Like, great, I'll buy a house. It's cheaper than renting. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm closing the company. I'm like, God, Jesus, you're killing me here. Yeah, I'm down in under Tom's River. So here is the base. I had to widen it because this little circle piece wasn't working. I ordered more of these to TH Tsunami or whatever these things are. SH Figure Arts, whatever these fire things are. So the idea is I want to have her in the base with the fires like so. Something like this. Something like this. It's kind of the idea, but these are yellow versions. They have fire ones, like ones that are more like this. So this is the yellow version, this is the regular fire version. So that's kind of the idea. Yeah, I know, Lyndon. I grew up North Jersey. Up by Newark area. But just the way things work out. I'm gonna go grab something to drink real quick. I'll be right back. A divide, yeah. If I get caught up, it's gonna be a while. But if I get caught up, I'll definitely start taking on more stuff. The Divide, what kits do you have that you're gonna do that? I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I love the anime kits that are coming out these days. They're really got some good sculpts you can customize stuff with. I got a few that I picked up myself that I plan to get to. Jacob, when I paint her up, I'm going my own way. I decided I'm going to give her gloves and her boots kind of more of a leather red and orange to make them look like they're leather. And her outfit, I'm going to do probably sort of like more of like a spandexy yellow with a little bit of pearl into it, but flatten it down. And then her mask is probably be like more of a shinier red. So I want to break it up more. I don't want to just do like red, red, and yellow all the same color. For her hair, I'll probably break it up to like a little bit of a silkiness to it, you know. I got a She-Hulk that I'm working on. When you see that hair in the video, it'll probably give you an idea what I'll go for. I mean, one of the things too I've been thinking about too when I sculpt hair now, I'm trying to do, is I probably could have spaced it, you know, have one little part here, one little part there, and kind of break it up more. But that's something I keep forgetting about. Like I said, I'm still learning, I'm still trying new things. Yeah, this paint up should be pretty fun. I want to try to change it up a little bit more than just, you know, flat colors. Give it a little bit more life with the leather look. At least with the gloves and boots. Now the idea with her hands is I'm going to put a little bit of that clear resin flame in each hand so it looks like she's got hand kind of like powered up a little bit. Something like that. Jacob, whenever you paint hair, it all depends on what you want it to look like. If you want it to have orange highlights, you could do orange. If you wanted to do like pinker highlights, you could do pink. But with red, you really don't want to put white into it. Which we'll call it. So yellow highlights, orange kind of helps red hair a little bit better. If you want to go darker red hair, you can put browns into it. It all depends on what you want it to look like. You know, there's really no set way. And with everybody changing their hair colors these days anyway, it doesn't even matter. I think we got some weird crazy flow back there now finally. It's thickened up a lot, it's not looking off. Definitely got some hair to her. Jacob, the other thing too with hair, if you want to have a little fun with hair, you know how they have those hair commercials where the hair looks so silky? If you throw a little bit of highlight of pearls into the hair, whatever color you're working on, but when you dull it down with like say Vallejo matte varnish, in person it gives it like a silkiness and you get to see your strands a little bit, but when I take my pictures you can't really see it too well. Cause I suck at photography. I really do. But a little pearl, a little hint of pearl, can make hair pop a little bit more. I mean, then again, it's superhero stuff, so why the hell not? It sounds like a plan, Exile. I don't drink, but a nice hamburger goes a long way, though. I'll take a burger any day. I got all my drinking out of me in high school and college. Now it's just water and Gatorade and burgers. Don't worry about the hair, guys. I have a habit of walking away from an item for a few days, come back, and then I'm like, okay, I need to fix this, I need to fix that. So, we got a while to go. Just a statue. But we'll get there. Best burger I ever had is when I went to Evo, the Street Fighter tournament in Vegas back in 2015, I think. I went to that Gordon Ramsay's burger joint in the Caesar's Palace. Holy hell, that was the best burger I ever had. Mind you, it was like 30 bucks though, but it was a damn good burger. Ever since I moved down South Jersey, there's no burger joints really. A lot of seafood here, but no burgers. Although there is this place called 25 Burgers, they're not bad, but they're not amazing. Texas Roadhouse? Sounds good. Wells, I don't use pastels anymore. I used to. I use women's makeup now. Any women's makeup that is not shiny or pasty is basically pastels. If you want to try it, go on eBay and get... You can buy yourself one of these kits on eBay for like 20 bucks. It's not the ones that have all the glitter in it, except I dropped it a few times, so I lost a lot of this stuff, but this works fine. Or if you want to, go to CVS and just buy up a bunch of women's makeup. I mean, you get all types of different colors and consistencies, and you just need to seal it, just like pastels, except it's all, it's already grounded up for you. And then I have all these tools here for the makeup. I got these pointy ones And then these, you get it all off eBay for like a couple bucks, and then boom, you're done. The reason why I use the women's makeup is because it's smoother, it's finer, and it doesn't, and you don't have to sit there and scrape the pastel sticks. It was an old painter that used to do Bowen design stuff. His name was Dano. He's the one who told me. He just said, I don't use women's, he says, I don't use pastels, I use women's makeup. And then I did it, and I never went back. So it works out really well. You can use the pasty ones. There is some that are kind of pasty. You just got to seal it pretty well. But I don't use like pastels in the makeup on everything I do. It's mostly just faces, because sometimes you can't get in like certain areas with the airbrush. So I just use a little bit to make something pop, like around the nose or whatever. But I don't sit there and use like pastels on the whole item, because it's a pain to pastel this area, seal it, pastel this area, seal it. It's just a pain. Alright, I'm just kind of detailing some of this wrinkles because the Aves is hardening up. Figure I can kind of get in there a little bit more. Jacob, I don't really like LED items, because like you want to wire up her eyes. If you don't cut the head and have the battery system in here and you wire everything through the statue, if this statue breaks or the wire strips and you don't have a means of getting that wire back up there, it's a nightmare. The same thing if like the character has a wire going through the body for the LED like lightsaber, it's a nightmare. If you are okay with just putting a lightsaber in his hand and have like a wire run to a USB, that's fine, I guess. I don't know. I just don't, I understand LEDs, but I just don't like them. Too much trouble and hassle. Something wrong with the chat? I'm not seeing anything on the screen. But then again, I don't know all this stuff too well. It is YouTube though, so who knows what chat does half the time. Yeah, that's the problem, Jacob. You can't snake these things through statues. You really can't. I've had a lot of people in the past ask me to fix LEDs, but the problem is they would break the wire, or the wire would rip out, and there's no way of like running a new wire all the way through an item if there isn't like give. Like some of these statues really should have like a hollow tube that goes through the item that you can actually snake something through easier. But if you're going up a leg and you're going around a chest, around a shoulder into an arm, like you snap it here, you're screwed forever. That's the problem. So LEDs are good for bases, but I don't like them on the statue itself wiring through. Like I just repaired that Metroid Samus statue, and the wire in the gun broke. So the wire went up here, it went around here, all the way down into the leg. So there was no way I was ever going to be able to repair that. But a lot of the newer statues that are coming out that have LED like heads, what they do is the hair is kind of like removable sometimes, and then they have the battery and LEDs in the head, and then you put the hair back on. That works. Yeah, LEDs are great, but you gotta engineer it. And they're not going to engineer it for repairs. They're just going to engineer it for it to work out of the box day one, and then they don't care what happens down the line. But I know there's like a lot of lightsabers out there, I think now, that have like a thin wire for USB. I actually have some of them on the counter for a character I'm working on. So you can... If you can, you could put the like lightsaber onto the character and sort of kind of hide the wire and then go behind the character if you can, but it all depends. I think a lot of people forget at times that engineering is an important part of the item. If you can't engineer it correctly, you just have issues. But I think there is a guy, somebody told me there is a guy who does lightsaber mods. But I think he was out of the country, at least out of US. I think he's was in the UK. Unless that's the person you were talking about. Now, if you had a statue, I do know they did this too on a couple statues where the head is removable and the torso is removable. And what they do is they create those joints where when they connect, you have a power joint. So you can have a wire in the leg that connects to like the character's belt, and you can remove the upper body, and that body connects there, and there's a wire in the body. Some statues have done that. But, I don't know. Okay, Jacob, maybe that's the guy you were talking about. I know there was a guy who did LED sabers and stuff, but I didn't know that the wires showed. I just know that a lot of people like this stuff. Yeah, there you go, Wells. I like LEDs, and I understand the appeal to them, but I just don't like dealing with them. My personal opinion is I'd rather focus on the sculpt and the paint and the character than something glowing off of them. Lightsaber, I understand, that's kind of like what Jedis have and, you know, Sith. But for like superhero stuff, it's not my thing. Exile, I've actually told this to people in the past. If you guys buy a statue from any of these companies that come with batteries, throw those batteries away. I've never heard of anyone's battery never exploding or like they're just always crappy batteries. You might as well just go get some you know, Duracells or whatever and put those in your item. But I've always seen those cheap batteries that come with the statue just rot on people. Just completely rot and go to hell. Just go spend the extra $5, $10, get a couple good batteries, and then you're done. But yeah, if you got all that corrosion in there, it could destroy the wire. I think it was, what statue was it? I got one a long time ago. It came in the mail, and then I checked the battery a month later, and it was already like corrosion in there. Yeah, I don't trust any of those batteries that come with the statue. Oh yeah, it was the I had to pick up that Thanos sideshow statue for a guy in overseas. He couldn't find one here, so I helped him out. When I opened up the box to check everything, I saw the batteries, and I told him, I said, "Dude, get different batteries. Don't put these in the statue." You could feel that they were cheap. I don't know if it's. Usually I think it's just the cheap batteries, but then again, maybe it's the resin or the paints too. I doubt they affect anything, but you never know. Well, at least the front of her outfit's looking better. Yeah, her boots came out pretty decent. Took a couple layering on it. I did this flame first, and then I did that flame, then I seamed it all up. So her arms and boots are pretty set. I have her hands. Let's see. So I got her hands. This one's a good one. I thought that one was broken. So that hand's going there. This one's finger broke off. But you can see I have a bunch of other hands from previous ones. And then that hand will go there. These aren't the hands that came to her, so I gotta kind of sand them down just a little bit. And I can't really make them removable because it won't fit with the glove. Should work out. Well, Exile, if you can work the wires and fix it, then you should be fine. If you can't get to that wire or extend it, then it'll be a pain. Yeah, this one's got to go a little bit closer. So her palms are going to have the flame in it. So when I get that batch in the mail, the idea is I probably would sort of like cut out a flame and put a couple dabs of clear epoxy and just have like the flame on her hand like so type thing. It's kind of the idea I'm going for. I mean, I could use these yellow ones and sort of spray them red a little bit too. But I don't want the thin flame, I gotta have a little thicker. So maybe even like something like that one. So I gotta repair her finger next. I'm gonna put her hands on just before I'm ready to paint her. Because if I put it on now, I'll snap these things. Those hands were to that one. Find the right one. Yeah, I guess that's the right one. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it is. Alright, well I found the right finger right away. That works. That works out perfect. Yeah, these fingers are a pain, but there's a sort of an easier way to repair this than to try to drill it. Gonna dab glue on it now, and then I'll drill it. Well, I'll thicken it up now with this Aves if it's not too tough, and then I can sand it down. So what we'll do is put a dab of glue. I'm telling you, get gel glue. This stuff is the best stuff ever. It doesn't run, it doesn't bleed, it stays right there, and you're good to go. So we'll take this. Let's sort of, hopefully I put enough on. I didn't put enough on. Do a little bit more. Alright, now it's squeezed out, but that's not an issue. See, the gel kind of holds it. Instaset cured it. That's pretty good. Well, the way this works now is it is messy. Like if you get in close, it is like squeezed out. But that's because I'm going to repair it anyway. So what I'll do is take some of my Aves. I probably should do this when the glue is completely dried, but it's kind of there. And I'm just going to thicken this up for now. So I'm going to grab an older paintbrush because if there's any glue it'll kind of... So I'm just going to do this. So now what I'll do is I'll let this cure up for the night, and then what I'll do is I'll Dremel out this back of the finger. I'll Dremel out this finger coming downwards, like so. And then what I'll do is I'll put more Aves in there and rebuild this, so this way the glue and the Aves will bond the finger together a little bit, because I'm painting this anyway. So it don't really matter that I'm adding all this onto it. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of like the glue is helping bond it and the Aves is kind of securing it, so I could Dremel out tomorrow a bit and then I could kind of secure it a little bit better. That's kind of like what I'm doing for the finger. I don't use super glue. I've never heard of putting baby powder with it, so it's not. I don't know what that would do. But honestly, if you just buy this gel, this is all you need. I mean, it doesn't bleed. It cures fast. It's thick. Like say you're gonna repair this hand, right? With this gel thick stuff, say you're going to put this on the statue here, like so. Say this part is cracked. If you put the gel in there and you squeeze this on there, and that gel will fill in that crack, and then the next day you could sand that down and that gel acts as a filler. That's why I like this gel stuff. if you use the liquid stuff, like if you're gluing this arm on and you use the liquid stuff, the liquid bleeds on down the arm. So if you have to repair a statue that's pre-painted and you just need a dab of glue, this stuff works out great. Super glue actually clouds your item. Super glue will, like, if there's like a black shiny area and you use super glue, that like if the fumes kill it. That's why I use the Insta-Set, because it just Insta-Sets everything. I'll look into that baking soda. That's kind of interesting. I think I've heard of that in the past, but I'll have to look into that a little bit more. Gotta put these aside before I break it. Well, looks like I'll have to invest in some, some baking soda. Try it out. I think I have liquid stuff still. Yeah, I think I might. But I think that is it for the night, though. I think I got a lot done on her. Gonna have to clean her up this weekend, hopefully. Start setting up the hands, and then maybe by next Friday, if I get that clear resin in, I could do the base on stream too. I'm not going to go super crazy with the base. I think it's just going to be simple black. Then maybe this, I might do something different here, but I want to do something here with this. So I might try to add some flames into this first and then put the other ones around it. It's the only thing I can think of. I think that'll, because we're trying to make something simple, nothing too crazy. I kept trying to keep this small piece from falling forward. I even put a whole thing of lead, fishing lead in there. It didn't work out, so. But I think that should be a decent base for her. Simple, a little bit of a flame, and focus on the character. So let's kind of pull her down a little bit. Alright, let's see. I think that works for FireStar. Alright guys, so that's it for tonight. I'm calling it. It's gotten pretty late. So thanks for stopping by. We'll see if I can get working on her more next weekend, and hopefully get ready to start painting her up pretty soon. So have a good weekend, guys. Thanks for coming by.